Step 1. Mound the flour in the center of a large wooden cutting board and make a well in the middle of the flour. Then add eggs. Step 2. Using a fork, beat together the eggs and begin to incorporate the flour, starting with the inner rim of the well. As you incorporate the eggs, keep pushing the flour up to retain the well shape, and don't worry if it looks messy. This should be the final result. While you're kneading, if it's too flaky, add some more eggs. Then, once you get the final result and it looks pretty good, wrap it in plastic wrap, and then let it sit for 20 minutes. Next step.
We're going to make the filling. So we're going to make two kinds of filling, pork sausage and lobster. This is how we make the pork filling. Actually, I'm just going to get some plain pork sausage, and I'm going to remove the skin, remove the contents from the sausage, and we're going to roll it into small bowls that will go in the ravioli.
Next step. After you've moved the skin off of the sausage, start rolling them into small balls.
These balls we're going to put in the ravioli.
This is the final result of the pork filling that we're going to use for the raviolis.
And next we're going to prepare our second filling, which is lobster tail. So I'm just going to open the lobster tail, like so. And I'll remove the lobster and I'll prepare that for the filling. I have the lobster outside of its shell. I can cut into small pieces that will go in the ravioli. This looks really tasty, very fresh. Next, flatten the dough with a rolling pin to about 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch.
After you're done rolling out the dough, it should be pretty thin. Then you can start cutting it into shapes, and then after that you can start putting the filling in.
And we have this convenient ravioli cutter.
And we're just going to start making the shapes. Be a little careful when you pull it out.
Yeah, we don't want to break the ravioli.
When you pulled out two sides, you could try to take it out. Or you can just pull out all 4 sides first. Yeah, if you think the dough is a little bit just sticky and sticking on the bottom, then first get out all the sides and then you can try to get it out. There we go.
And next we form the raviolis by adding the ingredients.
And once you have the filling, use a fork and press down to kind of get it to stick together so it'll seal it and make a pretty nice design on it. And you do that on all the sides until it is completely sealed. So once you're done making your first ravioli, you can dip your brush in a little bit of truffle oil or oil, but these two are pork fillings, so the best to use for that is oil, olive oil, and then you just kind of lightly brush the top of it. If you want, you can even do the back side. But honestly, you just have to do the top side. Also use the egg yolk if the dough is dry. Yeah, and it'll also help it stick together. And then also when you're done sealing the raviolis, you can take truffle oil or olive oil and just brush the top of the ravioli. So now we're going to move on and make our lobster raviolis. And a really good thing to do with the lobster raviolis is that once you're done sealing it, to just put maybe 1 or 2 drops of truffle oil on the top and just use your brush to kind of brush it on top. So I'll show you that in a second. So I'm just going to go ahead and seal it. And here Bonnie's making some more dough. And use the fork. There goes one. And just seal it off real quick. And again, using the forks to kind of seal it a little bit more, it also gives kind of a cool design. So now we have that done. We're just going to, first I recommend taking some olive oil and just brushing it. And then what we usually do for the lobster, we just put maybe just 1 or 2 drops of it. And then go ahead and brush that on. And then we're done with that. And that's a great trick with the lobster raviolis.
We're going to make the sauce for the pork ravioli. That sauce consists of pecorino romano cheese, some heavy whipping cream, butter, and we're actually going to have some of the pork in the sauce as well.
And we're going to use a different sauce for the lobster raviolis. For our cream sauce, we also need to use onions.
Sauce is actually to cook the pork sausage in small balls. Then I have the onions that were diced with butter combined in a saucepan with a little bit of olive oil. And next I'm going to add cream to this, but after the onions are just nice and translucent and semi-caramelized. And now that the onions are ready, we can add the other ingredients. So the cream, so we're adding the cream, and then we can put some of this wonderful cheese in there. And what we'll do is just keep combining this until it makes a nice sauce. And it's sort of, you have to do it by feel, there's a bit of an art to it. So you want to get the proper thickness, really. So I'll just keep adding the cream. And actually, there's another secret ingredient that I didn't mention either, which is just a little bit of white wine. Don't worry, this won't be alcoholic for the kids. The alcohol actually burns off before you eat it.
While you're cooking, if you decide to add some more cheese or cream or, as you're going, so as Greg said, while you're going, keep adding the materials and ingredients slowly so you get the right thickness. And that's what he's doing right now. Then after we're almost done with our sauce, we're going to add the meatballs, and that'll give a lot of flavor to the cream sauce.
And according to the ancient Roman recipe, I like to add a little bit of black pepper, crushed black pepper, to the mix. Just adds a little bit of spice to the overall flavor.
All the raviolis are ready. We're going to start boiling them.
And we're going to boil them for about 3 or 4 minutes.
At the most 5. This is the final result.